Big shouts to Hype Off Life.
Okay, so thanks for coming through. So, for everybody unfamiliar, tell us more about your story.
Well, you want to know the story about the business or about me or
You and how it led to your business.
um well for me I've always been a person with huge aspirations, big goals, big dreams. So I moved to LA to chase those dreams or to pursue those dreams. I started a multimedia company slash merchandise line slash platform to motivate people. So it's actually what the three M's in my company stand for: media, merchandise, and motivation.
So, aside from being business minded, you're talented. You have a skill set ranging from athletic abilities to creativity. So, with so many skills, how do you choose which passion to pursue?
I just kind of go where the wind blows me. You know what I mean? In the beginning, I wanted to get my high school coach's story out, so I chose the path of storytelling through film to do that, and had some success with it. And 2020 has been a year where it's kind of backed us into a corner, and so I rebranded the company and started putting out merchandise. So I just wanted, with all the George Floyds and the Ahmaud Arbery's and all the stuff that was going on, and everybody was speaking out, voicing their opinion. I'm not a very vocal individual, so I wanted to find a way to get my message out, and so I chose to do so through my clothing line, my merchandise brand.
hmm So, speaking of your old coach,
hmm
your debut documentary, it was a huge hit. So, what inspired you to tell his story?
Um, just the fact that coaches still living to this day, and you know, he went to the Hall of Fame in 2017. That was like the most attention he's gotten, which is a great deal. But it's like nobody knows this story. And for me, I was fortunate enough to spend 4 years of my life with this guy. I saw him every single day,
Mm.
and you're that close to greatness every day. It's just like I wanted the world to appreciate what I got a chance to appreciate.
So, did you grow up doing film, or you just
I mean,
like?
I didn't. I to this day, I mean, other than the actual, the film that I made and stuff that I do digitally, with the company, I don't have any real filmmaking experience. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't. I don't. Have any like. I didn't have anyone that taught me anything. I just picked up a camera and I just went in that direction. I studied, YouTube videos. I got an uncle who graduated from USC Film School who was, on my head about certain things. And I mean, you'll watch the film, you'll see that I made tons of mistakes. So, my next project, I'm looking forward to correcting the mistakes I made.
Okay. So, speaking of major minority media, how
hmm
did you come up with the name?
Well, I was just telling my guy here this earlier. So, my three inspirations it's really based around the three M's. M3. You know what I mean? So it's Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Marcus Garvey. You know what I mean? So I was just looking for three M words that kind of flowed, and I came up with major minority media. But now it's branched off, it's rebranded. So the three M's are media, merchandise, and motivation.
Why do you feel it's important to hit on all three of those branches?
My company's motto is changing the narrative. So I just want to use this platform to change the narrative as far as how they see us. Because a lot of times we get bad reps as far as who we are, and like even within our own culture, we look to people who aren't always you know the most positive, or they may be doing things that are outside of the streets per se, but it's still like pushing the culture in the wrong direction, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to do something that uplifts us and moves the culture forward
I feel you on that one. That's what
yeah
Hype Off Life's about. Like,
all day.
mm,
So that's what it's about for me. So I know me personally. You know what I mean? I'm my grandmother's oldest grandchild, so I got tons of little cousins that look up to me, and I don't want to be out here doing something that was you know unappealing.
yeah, I feel that's important for the media side of it too, because a lot
Absolutely.
of people they grow up and then they see the media
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm from a city. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, where like I'd say 75% of the city is impoverished. It's just it's not a really it's not a progressive place. You know what I mean? And so once I made the film, I started getting like a lot of offers from people to tell stories about this person and that person. Everybody's a drug dealer and gang banging. I'm just like, we get enough of that. You see that everywhere. It's like that's not what I represent. That's not what I want my company to represent. So I'm all about upliftment.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
So your merch is very striking, and they start conversations. So you use graphics like Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey. How do you go about choosing which images to use?
Um. Well, I mean, it's funny because I've had these visions for years. You know what I mean? Like I've always, since I was, I can remember 7, 8 years old. Like I've been a fan. I, studied uh, um, Malcolm X, MLK, Marcus Garvey, Nelson Mandela, Huey P. Newton, just these things. They just come to me. I don't necessarily have like a process that I use to come up with them. I have a graphic designer who's extremely dope. Larry Gray, guy I graduated high school with. He's actually got a multimedia platform himself. I'm gonna shout him out. Legendary Media, and he helps me come up with them. I'll run a concept by him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, like I want to do something for the black women. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, all right, just give me a phrase, give me a saying, and I'll come up with an image, and then we build like we'll just take the words, the pictures, bring it together, and then we have it like our number one selling design for women is the Bay. This is the shirt I got for you. It says Bay, BAE, Black and Empowered.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then it's here it is right here. So we just took a natural woman, a natural black woman with the afro.
hmm,
You know what I mean? And just defined it.
yeah.
And so that's how we came up with that one. So we got 13 designs, 12, 13 designs, I'd say, and they just we got stuff for like I'm with Cap, I'm with Kaepernick, as in I stand with Cap or I kneel with Cap. I'm representing for Kaepernick. I got the one I have on more Malcolm than Martin, which is saying like don't try me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not with the non-violence. I mean, I'm not looking for violence, but like I'm not to be played with in that essence. And then what else do we have? We got the one of Martin Luther King. Actually, the April 4th, 1968, which is the day he was assassinated. Which is a reminder. You know what I mean? Like they want to tell us about Martin Luther King and how he was a peaceful man, but they forget that they took him from us. You know what I mean? So for me, that's a reminder. You know what I mean? So just different ways, just being creative. My goal is to create two new designs a month to keep the brand moving forward.
That's cool.
So if you got something, we always looking. We're always open. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
So another cool thing about the brand or the line is that you sell it in a truck that you go around like the city with.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
has the response been so far?
Man, I mean, we can't make it up the street. Somebody's flagging us down, or it's been the response has been great. It was something creative. You don't see trucks that are out pushing merchandise. Most trucks are, you know what I mean, or for food or whatever else you can get. But I mean, I've seen like barbers, mobile barbershops, but I felt like the decision was based pretty much in they had to do a lot with COVID. Like it didn't make any sense to get a storefront with everybody being, you know what I mean, at home and like, the economy being down. So I just wanted to do something to where I can actually bring my store to you. You know
That's
what I mean?
dope.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, the city of Los Angeles has been giving me the blues, by the way, but we finally got it registered and everything. So we're up and running now. So we're everywhere. Hollywood, West LA, Inglewood, Compton, Lamert Park, wherever you can think, we're there.
Do you just drive like wherever you feel like it that day, or do
Um,
you have a
yeah, we kind
schedule?
of, no, we just kind of like, um, like where I'm basing, where I'm parking at the most is Fairfax and Melrose. Kind of, it's a little artsy over there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of liberal people, like that support like small businesses and stuff like that. So, but on the weekends, for the most part, we're just trying to be wherever the people are. And then too, like once the country and all places open back up, we plan on hitting every location, every city across the country, every big event, Coachella, you know what I mean, South by Southwest, Black Biker Weekend, everything. So that's another reason. I didn't want to have any limits. I wanted to be mobile. I wanted to go when I chose. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, it's all about having freedom.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of the message and mission of your brand, what about your upbringing and experiences led to your passion and mission for uplifting the Black community?
Um. Well, I was raised by my mother and my stepfather, who are both extremely proud Black people. My dad, he instilled it in me as a kid. You know what I mean, to be proud and where you come from, who you come from, and like he always would speak about the experiences he had with his parents growing up. He remembers like not being able to sleep in hotels, and then his dad buying a station wagon for that reason. So when they traveled, they'd have somewhere to sleep in the car comfortably, or blah blah blah. So it's just him and my mom, they definitely struck that in me. My mom more so, she's a person who she turned me on to like great entertainers and singers and what I mean, performers like Billie Holiday and Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin. You know what I mean? So that's what I got from her. And I mean, I grew up in a very segregated place, especially back in that time, Fort Worth, Texas. So it was just like it was something that it struck in me. That I was just like, what makes me different from them, or what makes us different from them? So I wanted to find out on my own. You know what I mean? What it is, what it was they were trying to hide from us, or they didn't want us to see, or what makes them so angry at us.
With
And
you.
and it's not all of them, but there's we know who it is. It's a certain type.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, how have recent events, especially 2020's climate of civil unrest, amplified your mission and
Man,
clarified your vision?
it's definitely made me push harder. You know what I mean? I felt like like I said, man, I'm a huge fan of Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and I was just like, hey, if they're looking down at me, you know what I mean? It's like like yo, you need to get on your job, like And like I said, I'm not a very vocal individual, but I feel like it's still my duty to spread the word and get the message out there. So I think we all should, like, no matter what it is that you do, if you cook, if you're a skateboarder, if you draw, if you're a swimmer, whatever, you know what I mean. Use your platform to push the culture forward. You know what I mean, to show who we truly are, the beauty of our people. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
that's what Hype Off Life's about too. Like, I
Absolutely.
don't talk that much
Yeah.
either, but I
Absolutely.
could write. I could do all
Yeah.
types of stuff to be
Absolutely.
creative.
Yeah, so that's what I'm on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know
yeah,
what you mean.
yeah, for sure. I got, like I said, man, I got tons of young cousins. You know what I mean? First cousins, second cousins, third cousins, cousins here, L.A. and Georgia, all over the planet, and I know they're looking. So I just want to make sure that when they see big cousin Mike, I'm always on something positive.
So, what lessons are you bringing from 2020 into the next year?
Um, I'll be honest, man. Like I hadn't subscribed and attached myself to this whole 2020 has just been the craziest, most uh damaging year. Outside of Kobe, you know what I mean. Like that hurt me, but like I mean, I don't mean to be selfish, but the whole COVID thing, I just been kind of just pushing forward. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't put a lot of energy into that. So I mean, it's been like honestly, like you guys are from LA. I just recently moved here in 2014, and since I've been here, LA has kicked my butt. So
Oh,
2020 has been a good year for me. I just
hmm.
just being honest, you know what I mean. So I mean, I'm just But 2020 was definitely the year to plant seeds, and 2021 is the year of the harvest for me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel you.
yeah.
So, is there anything else we should know before you go?
Um, I mean, just subscribe to the platforms. You know what I mean? Major minority media on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see what we're doing. We're pretty active on social media. You can follow me personally, Mike Byars, and just whatever you want to know, you'll see eventually.
Okay, thanks for coming through.
Website m3major.com, www.m3major.com. Look for the truck all around the city. You know what I mean? Pull up on us, show love. You know what I mean? Even if you don't make a purchase, just come say hello.
Okay, thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.